You've seen it on jewelry, on tattoos, on album covers, on the walls of museums. The Ankh, that cross with a loop at the top. Most people think it's an Egyptian symbol of death, something ancient, something dark, something that belongs in a tomb. They're wrong, and the real meaning is far more powerful than anything Hollywood ever told you. Because the Ankh wasn't placed in tombs to honor the dead. It was placed there to bring them back to life. The Ankh is over 5,000 years old, first appearing in Egypt around 3000 BC. But here is what most people don't know. The Egyptians didn't call it a symbol. They called it a key. The key of life. Not the key to death. Not the key to the underworld. The key to life itself. In the pyramid texts, one of the oldest written documents in human history, the Ankh is described as capable of unlocking the gates of heaven. Not just death, heaven. And in Egyptian medical papyri, priests used the sign of the Ankh in healing rituals. They believed it could restore health, renew vitality, and prepare both kings and commoners for spiritual rebirth. This was not a symbol of death. It was a symbol of life so powerful. They brought it with them into death to carry life to the other side. Now look at the shape of the Ankh. A cross with a loop at the top. The Egyptians were precise about everything they drew. Nothing was accidental. The vertical line represents the masculine principle, the path downward, the earthly. The horizontal line represents the feminine principle, the reach outward, the human. And the loop at the top, that loop represents the divine, the infinite, the thing that connects both. The Ankh was saying something specific. That life, real life, is the union of masculine, feminine, and the divine. That without all three, existence is incomplete. The ancient Egyptians didn't need philosophy books to say this. They drew it and carried it everywhere. Here is something that should make you pause. In Egyptian art, the Ankh is almost never lying on the ground, almost never held by ordinary people. It is almost always in the hands of gods. Isis, Osiris, Ra, Hathor. Every major deity is depicted holding the Ankh, pressing it gently to the nose of a pharaoh. That gesture, in Egyptian symbolic language, it meant one specific thing: the breath of life being transferred from God to human. Think about that for a moment. The most powerful beings in the Egyptian cosmos used this symbol as the instrument of giving life. Not swords, not thrones, not gold. The Ankh. And when a pharaoh held the Ankh, he was saying to his people, I have been given life by the gods, and through me, that life flows to you. Now here is where it gets complicated, because today, in certain religious communities, the Ankh is considered demonic, a tool of paganism, an anti-Christian symbol, and people are genuinely afraid of it. So let's be honest about the history. The Ankh predates Christianity by over 2,000 years. It was never designed to oppose any religion. It didn't know Christianity would exist. But here's the twist most people don't know. Early Christians in Egypt, the Coptic Christians, actually adopted the Ankh into their own tradition. They saw the cross shape and recognized something familiar. the intersection of heaven and earth, the meeting point of human and divine. The Coptic cross, used by Egyptian Christians to this day, evolved directly from the Ankh, a symbol once called pagan by some, was actually one of the first ways Christianity expressed itself in Egypt. The Ankh didn't become Christian, but Christianity in Egypt grew through the Ankh. The Ankh is everywhere today, and most people don't realize what they're looking at. It's in tattoo studios from New York to Los Angeles. It's on the jewelry of musicians who have no idea what it means. It's in the logo of more organizations than you'd expect. And here's what's interesting about that. Every generation rediscovers the Ankh on their own. Without being taught, without being told, as if the symbol has a gravity of its own, pulling people toward it. Carl Jung would call this an archetype, an image so deeply embedded in human collective memory that it surfaces again and again across cultures, across centuries, without anyone consciously choosing it. The Ankh doesn't need to be taught. It just keeps showing up. So what does a 5,000-year-old symbol mean for your life right now? The Ankh was never about death. It was about a very specific idea that most modern cultures have forgotten. That life is not just biological, not just heartbeats and breathing. Life, in the deepest sense, is the connection between the physical, the relational, and the divine. The Egyptians believed that when any one of those three is missing, something in a person goes dark. You can be breathing and not truly living. You can be surrounded by people and feel completely alone. You can have everything and feel like nothing means anything. The Ankh was a reminder, carved into stone, held by gods, pressed to the nose of kings, that life in its fullest form requires all three. And that reminder is as true today as it was 5,000 years ago. The next time you see an Ankh on someone's wrist in a museum, on a piece of jewelry, you'll see something different now. Not a death symbol, not a dark artifact, not a Halloween prop. A 5,000-year-old question. Are you living or just existing? There is a symbol that takes this question even further. One that was used as a protective shield by ancient warriors, condemned as evil by the church, and then quietly reclaimed by science. Most people see it and feel fear. The ones who know the real story feel something else entirely. That one is next.